zero commission stockbrokers. Sounds amazing, right? But if you think that means free trading, you are very wrong. In fact, many of the zero commission brokers out there might actually end up costing you as an investor more money than if you went with a broker that charges you a small commission but has a very distinctive difference to those zero commission brokers. And that's why in this video, I want to put it all out there so that you as an investor get the most out of your invested money. First off, I get it. I also really enjoy zero commission brokers because only a couple of years ago when I started buying my first shares, it was through my local bank account. And I remember I paid, I believe, 15 euros for one purchase of a stock, which was crazy. But at the time I thought, well, maybe that's normal. That's just the price of investing, right? Fast forward to today, and I know there's so many amazing options out there. And of course, I'm not saying all zero commission brokers are inherently bad. In fact, I use many myself. But there's something very important that you need to look for and pay attention to. And unfortunately, it's really not much talked about on YouTube or anywhere else. I never see people talking about that, but it really makes a huge difference to your long-term investing returns. And that's the concept of spreads and markups. Now let's talk about it. First of all, spreads. And no, I'm not talking about the peanut butter jelly spread you put on your toast in the morning. Spreads is actually the difference between the bid and ask price. Here we are inside of one of my brokers, and you see, for example, for Tesla, I can see here the ask price in red and the bid price in blue. So the ask price you can see is slightly higher, and that's the price that me as an investor, if I wanted to buy some Tesla shares right now, would have to pay slightly more than the bid price. And the bid price is basically the price that I would be receiving if I had Tesla shares and decided to sell it. It would be slightly less than the ask price. So the difference between those two numbers, that's basically the spread. And every broker has that. That's how the stock market works. The same when you exchange currency, for example, right? You travel to another country, and obviously the exchange rate has a current market rate, right? Whatever the currency is that you want to exchange. If you go on Google, Yahoo Finance, you'll see the current market rate. However, most likely where you exchange it, you're going to get a worse rate, right? And some might be better, some exchanges, some are worse, they rip you off. And that basically means you have a bigger spread. Now, obviously, you can see over here the spread, the difference is actually very, very small. And it obviously fluctuates constantly. Sometimes you see the order books, those red and green numbers blinking all the time. But generally, I found this to be 0.041% on interactive brokers. It's really, really tight. It's one of the tightest spreads. And obviously what's important is the more volume I have, the more people are trading. That usually also means there's more liquidity, and generally they tend to give you better spread. So that's one thing to consider to have a tight spread, because I've seen some other stockbrokers where the same stock could have a spread of 1-2%, which is huge, right? And that's especially relevant if you trade a lot, right? Let's say you want to speculate a little bit, you buy some Tesla shares at the price that is the ask price, right? You pay the price, and then maybe 1-2 days later you decide to sell it. So in case your broker charges you a 2% spread, which would be huge, well, then you would have to return more than 2% to come out in the green. Otherwise, you would be worse off. So that's a really important number to keep in mind. But generally, I found the spread to be more relevant if you're trading a lot in and out. If you're a long-term investor, obviously, if there's a big gap between the two, it wouldn't be ideal. But if you just buy to hold, it's not that relevant. However, what is even more relevant for anyone, whether you're a short-term trader or long-term investor, is the price markup. And the markup is something you will never find anyone really talking about, nor stockbrokers listing, because commissions or other fees, they would have to list somewhere. The markup is really up to them, right? It's really opaque and it's hard to track. And I've noticed that really fluctuates from broker to broker, even from stock to stock within the broker and from time to time. So it's very difficult to put any specific broker on the spot right here. But just for you to conceptually understand the principle I'm talking about, let's imagine you want to buy a stock in Microsoft. And hypothetically speaking, imagine that that one stock costs exactly $100 right now on the market. That's the official price that you find online. Now, when you go into your broker, obviously, you haven't checked it online. You just go into your broker, as you always do, to buy some shares, and you place an order for that one share of Microsoft. However, they show you, instead of $100, they will show you, imagine, $101 or $102. And for you, you don't compare it to the market. You just see how the price fluctuates over time. And you don't see commission, which is amazing, right? You're saving commission, great. You go ahead and you buy that share. But here, basically, you paid a price markup of 2%. Instead of $100, you paid $102. And that's way more expensive than a small commission, right? If they would have charged you a 50-cent commission on that, it would have been much cheaper because that's 0.5% investing fees, right? That's really the total investing fees that we should be looking for. And that's really something I noticed with more and more brokers, when I cross-check the actual market price, it's really quite different to what a broker is charging me. And that's something I really urge you to do that once in a while, whichever broker you choose. And obviously that video would be way too long if I did it for all the brokers. And obviously, as I said, it fluctuates constantly, right? So it's hard to pinpoint one specific number to one broker. They usually fluctuate, but generally they do have a certain margin, markup, spread all factored in without showing to you directly. And that's really, really unfortunate because that eats into your profitability. I mean, just to give you an example over here, I'm now on Yahoo Finance. I'm looking up one of the most popular ETFs based on the S&P 500 in Europe, the Vanguard S&P 500 UCITS ETF, VUSA, listed in Germany. Right now, the price for it is €107.67. Now, when I now jump over, for example, to Trade Republic, which is a very popular stockbroker in Europe, many people are using, well, you see the same ETF that I just shown you on Yahoo Finance here would cost you €108.40. On top of that, they will actually charge you a €1 commission, and they make it sound like a low-cost broker. Actually, it's anything but low cost. That difference alone is around 0.7%. So if I was to buy just one share of that particular ETF and factor in the additional €1 commission, that stock buy for one share of that ETF would cost me almost 1.8%, which is crazy, right? We're talking about 10% annual returns. Here, that will be a major, major difference. And that comes out of your pocket, right? You feel like you only paid €1 commission, meaning around 1% in this case, but you did not factor in the markup and spread, which is really, really important. And sadly, a lot of brokers are not showing you those numbers, right? If you would see the actual market price and the price you're buying at, it would be a different story. Now, granted, you could be placing limit orders, right? But then again, you have the risk of maybe never entering the trade, right? If the stock you wanted to buy keeps on climbing, then you will never hit your limit market order buy, and then you might be missing out on the price appreciation. So you want to have a stockbroker that has as tight of a spread and as little markup as possible. And that's where I found where Interactive Brokers really shines. Now, granted, yes, they do charge me a commission. Generally, if I buy S&P 500 ETF in Europe, I ended up paying around €1.50 on my buys. And at first, I never liked it. But then when I did my numbers and calculated, actually, in many ways, they turned out to be cheaper than most other zero commission brokers because their spread is so tight and the markup is really, really negligible. So my total cost of a trade actually turns out to be less than if I was to go with a stockbroker that charges me zero commission. Now, obviously, that also depends on the total amount that you invest. If you invest, for example, €100, €200, sometimes the commission might be higher than the little markup that you pay on a zero commission broker, right? So you have to run your own numbers. However, usually the larger your investable amount gets, talking about over €600, €700, €1,000 a month, then a small commission, as I mentioned, for example, on Interactive Brokers, might still be better off because you get lower spreads, lower markups than with zero commission brokers that charge you no commission, but hike up the price artificially that you have to pay to them to get the same stocks or shares that you would get elsewhere at a lower cost. So it's something to keep in mind. Now, obviously, I still use a number of brokers, and those that I use, when I calculated my numbers, I found them to be quite reasonable. But if I see any of them really starting to hike up their markup significantly, then definitely I'll be changing them because obviously it comes out of my pocket. And that's why I really urge you to run your own numbers. Before the next time you place an order on your stockbroker or bank of choice, just go ahead like you would normally do when you buy a stock. And before you check out, often you have a preview page where you can see the total cost, right? The commission and how many shares you actually get for your money. Sometimes it might be easier to buy one full share so you can really see how much the price would be for the one full share. And then immediately you go over to, for example, Yahoo Finance, right? To see latest market data. And of course, it's not real time, but pretty close to it. You just enter the symbol over here on Yahoo Finance, which is free to use. And then you see the difference. Then you can calculate basically what is the difference between one and the other. And then basically you'll be comparing those two numbers, the current market rate on Yahoo Finance with the current market rate you'll be getting on your stockbroker of choice. Now, in this particular case, the stock markets in the US are actually still closed. So that's why you have here the after hours. So usually after hours, there might be slightly bigger deviation. So you want to check this during market trading hours when the markets are open and actively trading, right? Because otherwise, it might distort the results a little bit. So do that when the markets are open and trading, and then you can see those numbers. And if you're struggling a little bit with financial calculations, little tip, I recommend you just go ahead, take a screenshot of those two numbers on a Mac, for example, Shift Command 4. You just go ahead, circle that number over here, take a screenshot. You would do the same over here on Yahoo Finance, take a screenshot. And then what you want to do is go into ChatGPT, add those two screenshots in there and ask it to compare and calculate the percentage difference of the spread of the markup. And it will basically tell you how big it is. And then you can decide for yourself, anything over 0.5% for me is really, really a red flag. My highest broker ever charged me 0.3%, which of course in a way is on the high side, but I'm still fine with it because I do get a lot of other benefits from that particular broker. The lowest overall total investment fees have definitely been for me interactive brokers, but of course my investable amounts are also slightly larger, right? If I was to invest only 100 euros, 200 euros, 300 euros a month, then I think interactive brokers might be slightly too expensive for me in terms of total investment cost, and there might be some better alternatives out there. So you have to know yourself, know how much you invest, run those numbers, and then see how you feel, right? Because you'll be really surprised. Some stockbrokers out there that obviously I don't recommend anymore, that I used to use in the past, they really charge you way over market price. And I think it's really unfair. And it's unfortunate that so few people are really aware of this. And obviously the stockbrokers have no interest in educating anyone around the topic because, that's how they make a lot of their money, right? And you always have to wonder yourself, if a stockbroker charges zero commission, how do they make money? Ultimately, they have to make money. And I'm fine with this, right? They provide a service. They should be rewarded for it. But I just wish there was a bit more transparency around the topic. But I'm interested to hear from you. Let me know which stockbroker you are using and what's the average spread and markup that they are charging on your specific stocks. And please do share it in the comments because I think it can be really helpful for myself, but also other viewers of this video. And if you want to find out which stockbrokers that I'm using myself, then check out this video over here where I run you through my favorite stockbrokers for European and UK investors. Thanks a lot for watching. As always, stay healthy, get wealthy, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.